Alright, a little trigonometry this time. Find the value of the pronumeral in each of the figures. What are the things we have to do? Well, first thing we have to do with all these trigonometric ratios, right angled triangles, is label the sides. That's the hypotenuse. Given 75 as the angle, across from 75 becomes the opposite side, and that would be the adjacent side. Identify which ratio you need to use. Well, the only angle I've got there apart from the right angle is 75. I've got to use the opposite and the hypotenuse, recalling SOHCAHTOA, which is the rule that uses opposite and hypotenuse. It is, of course, sine. So I would write out my rule. Sine of 75 degrees equals the opposite side, x divided by the hypotenuse of 3. X equals 3 sine 75 degrees. That's a beautiful exact answer. Most of you aren't going to be happy unless you find the approximate ugly decimal answer, but let's do it anyway. 3 sine 75, execute 2.897, so it would round up if we're going to two decimal places to 2.90. Does that seem reasonable? Well, yeah, it's got to be pretty big because it's opposite a large angle, so that seems pretty reasonable to me. Rightio, next figure here, we're solving for an angle. What sides have we got? Well, we don't have the opposite side. We've got the hypotenuse and the adjacent side, so this is, of course, cosine. The cosine of theta equals the adjacent, 7.9, divided by the hypotenuse, 9.3. To undo theta, we do the arc cosine. Arc cosine of that angle, 7.9 divided by 9.3. Remember, on your calculators, most of you will be familiar with watching this. The inverse sine, or in fact this was a cosine one, so that should be, let's just scribble it out and do it again. The inverse cosine of 7.9 divided by 9.3. But remember, I encourage you to try and steer away from that notation just because it's a little ambiguous whether cosine -1 of theta, does that mean 1 over cosine theta? Because it certainly would if I wrote cosine -2 theta, it would be 1 over cos squared theta. Or does that mean the arc cosine of theta, the inverse of the cosine operation? So, make your life easy. Majestic arc cos. I probably won't win many of you over with that, but I had to say it anyway. Alright, so shift arc cosine of 7.9 divided by 9.3. Close bracket, that was adjacent divided by hypotenuse, and we've got 31.846. Theta is approximately 31.85 degrees. And again, that doesn't seem unreasonable at all. Hope that helps. Catch you in the next question.